Hello and welcome to Let Me Be Your Game Guide, a podcast that spends each episode delving into a mystical new video game, exploring its charms and challenges, and helping you decide if it should be next on your list. I'm your host, Emma.
This is Rylan.
And this is Shawn.
Join us for this week's discussion episode as we escape reality and enter the metaphysical. For the remainder of this episode, let me be your game guide. We're back.
Welcome
back.
Welcome.
At the top, I just want to say we're talking about MIO Memories in Orbit again, still. And I didn't mention this last time in the who would like this game, but Zephe, get this game.
Yeah, for sure.
Zephe, you would really, really like this. And since you've been at home with your newborn baby, congratulations. I have not been able to tell you this in person, but
Wow. Yeah, he's going to have a ton of time to play this game.
well, hopefully he
No.
has some.
Yeah.
At least put it on your radar for the future.
Yeah.
For sure.
12 years down the road.
Yeah. He and his wife are both they like video games. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's like something they do together too, which is nice. So
Yeah.
they'll probably find a little bit of time.
Yeah.
MIO, check it out.
MIO. But yeah, like Rylan said, we're talking about MIO, Memories in Orbit, a metroidvania platformer.
A fantastic one.
Yeah.
So good. If you want to learn about the developers, get a little information on our ratings, we're going to go over our final ratings before we start this episode, but go listen to the previous episode if you haven't already. It's fun. It's a good time. And
this episode is for spoiling it.
yeah,
We're going to spoil the heck
major
out of this.
spoilers. So if you
Big
haven't
time.
played and you don't want spoilers, just wait. Just play the game and then listen.
Come back in
Yeah.
about 30 hours.
Yeah.
Binge it.
Yeah. Well, what did you guys, before we get too ahead of ourselves, what did you guys rate this game?
4.2.
Nice.
And I rated it a 5.
I also rated it a 5, and we mentioned this at the end of our last episode, but because Rylan and I both gave this game a 5, it means that has activated a giveaway.
That's a good bit.
Yeah. Giveaway unlocked. If you're interested in getting this game for free, we will gift it to you. Just email the podcast at letmebeyourgg@gmail.com, and we will do a little drawing for all the people that email us. And if you're picked, then we'll reach out to you and we'll find a way to gift you the game. If it's through Steam, it's pretty easy. We've done that before where we just send it as a gift. But if you're playing on a different platform, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So, put MIO Memories in Orbit in the subject line. You can just say, I want it. We don't need a reason. Or if you want to put a reason, that's fine.
Yeah. Or you just want to say hi or whatever. You know.
Yeah, that's cool. You can just email us if you want.
Email us, yeah. But
How do they email us, Emma?
they email us at letmebeyourgg@gmail.com with,
Did you just say that? Oh, crap. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We'll repeat
So anyways, how do they email us?
Well, and again, another thing we have to talk about before we get too far is what we were playing this time last year. We've been doing the podcast for over a year now, and we were rating a game this time last year.
We were.
We've already discussed that it was Shawn's pick.
Was that accurate?
It was accurate.
Okay. That doesn't help me.
Dude, was my pick. I'm still lost.
This one, I will say, was heavy combat.
We're playing Children of Morta.
Yeah.
Oh, Rylan, you're
lock
so
in.
good.
Yeah. Maybe my
Dang.
clues are too easy.
No, I need them. I like being successful.
Yeah,
That's the
okay.
thing.
But yeah, we were playing Children of Morta.
I like
Oh,
Rylan being
yeah.
successful because I never get it. I never know. I just support Rylan.
Yeah.
We're a team. We're a team.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Just like Cornhole, where you carried me.
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
Well, cool. Yeah, so go check that out. We were talking about Children of Morta.
Oh, yeah.
We were rating
Yeah.
it, and then discussion episode the week after. So
It's a good one.
before we get into the discussion and the spoilers of this game, don't forget to give the podcast a follow, rate it, review it, however you want to show us love. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/letmebeyourgg, where you can view episodes early as they post sometime on Sunday, a couple days before the episode posts everywhere else. You can also find us on most socials as Let Me Be Your GG with no spaces. That's LetMeBeyourGG, no spaces. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and X. You can find us on TikTok as Let Me Be Your Game Guide with no spaces. You can also email us, as we've maybe said once. I don't even remember if we've said this, but you can email us at letmebeyourgg@gmail.com.
I was locked in. I was like, oh, what is she saying? What? Yeah.
This is the best way to send in game requests. Just make sure you put game request in the subject line so it's easy for us to find. And that is also the email that you will email us if you want to enter in for a chance to win MIO, Memories in Orbit. And we're giving away 2 free copies because Rylan and I both gave it a 5.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think we can just get into it. This game doesn't have like a super linear storyline, so I think we're going to start off. Last episode, Rylan had mentioned that there was a Reddit post where someone really laid out the plot in a nice way, and I think it would be fun to discuss this. I certainly want to hear about it. And then we'll kind of move from there. I think we're just going to talk about bosses, our experience with the game, some of like the pearls and their voices.
Yeah. Some of the hard parts, some of the fun parts, some of the standout sections.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'll just start us off by kind of telling the story and the background of what's going on here. This is just off top of my dome, supplemented previously by a wonderful post by JMD on the MIO Memories in Orbit subreddit. I'm not going to be referencing that post while I talk, so don't blame them for whatever I say that's incorrect. But I just kind of share the story with y'all. So MIO takes place on it's called the Vessel, and it's a very large space vessel that is transporting travelers, which seem to be humans, across space. We don't have a lot of details on where they came from, their home planet, Earth, presumably. They had to leave it for some reason. And so they're going off into space looking for a new planet to settle down on. They brought with them a giant egg thing called the Catalyst, or it contains the Catalyst, which I don't think you saw in your playthrough because it's extra stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this egg contains like chemical fluid junk that has everything needed to seed the new planet with all the life that was on Earth. So it has all of the plants and animals and presumably fungus and bacteria and everything, but humans as well. And I guess just kind of not just like that information, but I guess the stuff needed for them to thrive. So they're going off on an adventure. And this adventure takes hundreds and hundreds of years as they stop at different planets or near different planets, and they see this is not a good one suitable for life, or this one's suitable for life, but only for about 200 years before the sun explodes.
Oh,
that's there. And so there's a really great section in the game. Actually, it sucks because it's in zero gravity. I don't know, Emma or Shawn, if you guys ever went to any of the spaces that were kind of in space or open to space.
I did, and it was annoying.
It was so annoying. There's
no control. You have no control.
There's a long section where you're kind of getting these like journal entries of like planets they found, and it gets kind of depressing because we're like, oh, this one didn't work out. Like, we got 2 more on the list. Let's check those out next. And then it's like, oh, this one didn't work out either. And then it's like, this is like my grandpa said that we'd find it someday, but I'm not sure. And so it's just like generations of these humans that are just like slowly losing hope out here. Meanwhile, the ship is controlled by a network of robots, and specifically the pearls, I think, or the pearls, I think, are these kind of the core of the ship. There's 5 main ones that are called voices, and they control different aspects they work together to control different aspects that keep the vessel running. There are things like the food source for the travelers and making sure all the communication around the ship is going well. And so these are like the 5 most powerful, kind of robots. And there's also millions of other little robots that are doing different tasks in the ship. Well, something happens, which I will explain here in a minute. But basically the game opens up after that something, when all of the travelers, all the humans are gone, and the ship is kind of falling into disrepair. None of the voices are working together anymore. And what the heck is going on? And so you kind of unravel that story as you play through MIO Memories in Orbit. Well, what happened is basically these 5 voices that are the most powerful, you kind of get the impression that they are like AI sort of thing, whereas some other robots are just, programmed to do their task. Well, these AI voices are not actually just AI. They actually have kind of human consciousness that was pulled from a real human that was basically selected and like trained up to be the voice. And they get put into these like pearls, these big spheres.
Which you can see at the end.
Which you can see, yeah.
That's crazy.
And there's another reference after you beat a boss. I don't think you beat Sol and Vin, Emma.
No, that was like the last boss I was trying to beat, but they're optional. You can still like.
They're
beat
so
the game.
tough.
I think I died once, and I was like, no, I'm done.
Yeah,
No thanks.
we'll talk more about them, but
Yeah.
but basically it was their job to engrave, which is basically to put a human into a pearl and meld that AI and human consciousness together. Which makes them, better and more compassionate and mission driven and all that stuff. Well, there was an incident where a human died in the process, and so it was a failed engraving. And this was with the spine, is the name of the voice. And that spine is responsible for connecting everything in the ship together, kind of like a spine in real life, the central nervous system and all that jazz. So basically, the previous spine, his name was Nodin. He basically just like kind of got old, which, they supposed to be like every couple hundred years they get replaced. Well, this guy got old. He didn't get replaced because the engraving had failed on his successor. And the humans said, we don't want to do that anymore. That was kind of screwed up. And Nodin now has already lived for a while longer than we expected. And he's still doing fine. Well, turned out he wasn't doing fine. He kind of went a little crazy.
Oh no.
And basically, eventually the I, which is the voice that is responsible for seeking out new planets that may be hospitable, found a perfect planet. And so then the idea is, great, we'll go crash the ship into that and we'll seed it with new life and we'll, it'll be great. And Nodin, now awkwardly, previously sort of a human, but now sort of a robot, sees this as a threat because if we end the ship and create the life, we're also ending all the robots, which is me and all my friends that I'm connected to, like, basically like all these extensions of myself.
Yeah.
And so now there's sort of this robot versus traveler mentality going on. And so Nodin tries to take the coordinates away. He sends a bunch of robots at the catalyst itself, this giant egg structure at the top of the ship, and actually breaks it open. And so now the catalyst is leaking out. And so now there's actually a timer on the whole mission, because if enough catalyst leaks out, it won't be successful. There won't be enough to seed the new planet. And this kind of tears apart the cooperation on the ship. Different voices feel differently about things. And so everything has basically gone to crap. There's a big like war kind of, or battle. Basically all the travelers die or, aren't being cared for. So maybe they die in the aftermath of that because, the robot responsible for making their food stopped doing that. And so it's basically all gone to crap. And so now as we enter the game here, all the robots are kind of confused because they're programmed to do something that doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
The mission of the ship, which is to go out and find a hospitable planet and seed it, has been compromised, and there's forces that don't think that should happen anymore, and others think that is what should happen anymore. And so poor little Mio is exploring around here, just doing her best, and trying to collect the different voices, because ultimately the heart, which is the most important, arguably the most important voice on the ship, is pumping weirdly.
It's dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's dying. It's getting weaker as they go on and on. And if that dies, then they all die. The whole vessel fails. And so your goal in the game is to collect the voices from all of the other pearls, kind of absorb them, and then you want to take them to the heart to encourage the heart to go on. And indeed, that is the default ending, is that you take them down to the heart, and the heart is motivated and says, I'm so weak and I was ready to give up, but now I see that, like, now we're all together again. All the voices are with me. We can do this. Like, I think we can keep going. That's kind of the default ending, and I'm skipping a lot of stuff. I don't know, Emma, if you wanted to chime in more.
No, that was fine. The only thing I was going to say is at the very end, she does like pick you up and she sets you right next to the other, the human that had been her, the human aspect, the person that had been engraved into the heart. You kind of get laid next to that body that's kind of curled up. So
yeah. And in that instance, kind of the final boss, I guess, is Ati, which is another little it's kind of like the same character as you, but just with purple, slightly different purple hairstyle than you.
Yeah.
And Ati actually took the voice of the spine before you got there. Actually, I think before the events of the whole game.
Yeah, she's the keeper of the spine.
And so you're going to all these other voices and absorbing them, and you get to the spine and it's like it's empty. Sorry.
Yeah.
And that's kind of mysterious, but Audie actually took it because Audie doesn't believe in your mission. Audie was with Nodin and says, hey, we basically just need to let this thing die.
Yeah.
Like, we're all suffering in this vessel. Like, we just need to end it here.
Yeah.
Like, don't encourage the heart. Like, let us all die out here. Like, we're not going to be successful in our mission anymore. There's like no point to this pointless existence. Like, let's just die. So you have to fight Audie at the end, which is a pretty fun fight. So you have to absorb the spine, then you go to the heart and you encourage it. And that's kind of the default ending. Well, there's a lot more that you can explore. And you can find out a bunch more of this, and you can actually, instead of fighting Audie, well, here, let me look at my notes here.
And I think that I just love, I don't know how you don't give the plot a 5 after hearing that.
Yeah.
But
this doesn't happen. None of that happens in game.
Huh?
None of that happens in game.
I know, but it's still cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Yeah, it is very cool.
I also think that it's interesting because Ati, you fight her and it is like this final boss, kind of like, oh, I have to get past this one last bad guy to get to the heart, but it, like, not really, like, her mission is not really bad.
Yeah.
It's just a different perspective, and you can understand, you can understand where she's coming from.
Yes.
And where, so it's kind of interesting, like, it's not this like evil force that you're trying to get past. It's just like a conflicting idea that also isn't wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I even wrote that down in my notes too, because I think like the other ending that I'm going to describe here in just a bit is like kind of considered like the good ending or the true ending.
Yeah.
But it kind of is like a question of like what is the good ending? I guess it's just a matter of perspective. And I guess I can talk about that more once I get there.
I'm so excited to hear about
Yeah. So I'll tell you this in a little bit of a roundabout way, because I want to explain sort of to Emma like what you need to do to get this ending really briefly.
Because I was like a little bit of the way there.
Yeah. So you kind of were, because you got the wheel turning.
I fixed the little like finger or whatever it's called.
Which I feel like I don't want to divorce the storytelling from just the sheer excitement of that moment in the game. So maybe we'll just get there really slowly, actually. Sure. If that's fine. And we can just kind of talk about cool crap that happened in the game.
And then maybe we can finish off the podcast with talking about
I think that's a good. Yeah. That's a good. Yeah. Because Shawn, this part was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
like let me tell you. Okay, so like where you're at, you're exploring the map is getting bigger, right? There's a certain point in the game where you take this elevator quite a ways down, and there's this whole like
this is like the only cutscene in the I felt like in the game. I was like, oh, this is actually like I'm having to sit here for like full minute to get down.
It's really long. This elevator way down to this other section of the ship. It's called the vaults, I think. There's also the lab down there. There's a couple areas down there, and it's like, oh, this is weird. They're just like deep in the depths of the ship.
Cool.
This is the area where kind of like new robots are born and stuff like that. and it's ruled by the hand is the voice that works down there.
Yeah.
So this whole other area, and then you find another elevator that takes you down or up, and so there's a couple different connection points.
Yeah.
Here, well, there's also a third elevator, and you can't ever go up it, and you're like, weird, right? So once you beat the hand and you absorb that, you can go into this, like, it's almost like a graveyard area. It's like this deep dark pit where the first time you go there, the hand just grabs you and it's like flicks you. It calls you a rat.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here, little rat.
Jeez.
Because it has like a big robot hand that it like manipulates stuff with. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Well, this is the only pearl that like fights back when you're trying to get absorb its voice. She's like, no, I have my own idea on how to fix this. I'm fixing it. Like, get out of here. I'm gonna fix
She's
it.
sassy.
I loved the hand.
Yeah.
And actually, this is like the most fun boss too.
Yeah.
Because what she does is there's a statue in the metropolis of this, like, I don't know, this like human that was, I don't know, cool. There's like some commemorative statue. Well, she takes the statue and you can like see it being worked on down there for a minute, and then you fight it. She's
It's
like
the anti-rat weapon.
Yeah. But it's pretty sick because I think it like has blades at first. But then in the second phase, it gets like this huge laser gun.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
crazy. And actually, the fun thing about this fight for me was that you can pretty much stay airborne the whole time and just go to town on it.
Nice.
But then once you kill the robot, you're like, whoa, I beat it. That was pretty fun. Then the hand comes and grabs the robot and starts like bludgeoning you with it.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
no.
like, why do I have to do everything myself? And then she's just kind of like,
Trying to hit
Yeah.
you with
Just
it.
it's so haphazard too.
Yeah.
It's so funny and unexpected. And that part, I didn't have to fight that part too many times, but it's just that whole experience was fun. The music was happening. It was great. But once you do that, you can go back to where the hand first grabs you, which you don't have a reason to go back here otherwise. It's just, in these sorts of games, you're just going everywhere. Everywhere you can, anywhere they'll let you go, you're going to go there. So you go down there, you go down, and you basically go a little ways and you find, gosh, I don't remember what you find there.
I don't know what it is either. I can't remember what it's called,
Well,
but I remember it's like an item.
You find the severed fingertip or something.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Yeah, the severed fingertip is what you find. I'm trying to remember like what the area is. It's like where the librarian for the hand is, though.
Yeah, I don't remember.
There's some lore stuff, but you find this finger to one of the robot hands, so you can take it back to this wheel thing that turns, and it like there's this hand that's broken there, so like, oh, I gotta take this thing there. And you're still down in this lower section of the ship, and so what this hand does is it turns this dial, and it basically rotates the whole map, because at this point also you've discovered that the map is circular. It loops around, kind of like Animal Well, but in a way that makes more sense, because it's just the fact that the ship is kind of cylindrical,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. But basically what this turning does is rotate the top of the cylinder from the bottom. So now those elevator points have shifted around.
Yeah.
And so suddenly this third elevator makes a little more sense, because now you're thinking, okay, I'll connect this elevator to one of these other spots.
Yeah.
And there's three points on the bottom that elevators connect to. But from the top, there's only 2 points. So I'm thinking to myself, and you didn't figure this out.
No.
This took me a while too, because basically what I was doing is I was rotating it, and then I would go to all the elevators on the bottom, play around there, and then I would go all the way to the top, and then I'd play around at all the spots there, and I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
And I rotated again, and I couldn't figure it out. And finally, I figured out that what you need to do is go up an elevator shaft that's not available. You can actually climb up it instead of take the elevator. It's like normally this elevator doesn't connect to anything. It's not working. You have to like get on top of it, climb up it. You climb all the way up, and now you activate another point on the top of the ship, and you create a shortcut so you can actually connect there.
Oh, nice.
So now you have a third elevator piece from the top of the ship. So now you have to rotate the ship back the other way correctly to find the top to find that third elevator spot on the top and where it can actually connect down now. So this took a little bit of trial and error, which actually took quite a bit of time because a lot of times you can teleport in the connection points, but you can't teleport from the top to the bottom ever. You have to take an elevator. So you have to do some walking every time. Anyways, so you drop down. You elevator down to this area called the Crucible. And this is a bunch of lore stuff here. And in the Crucible, this is where they create the pearls, the cores of these voices. And they combine it's called like Nacre?
I was calling it Knacker.
I don't know what it is.
In my
the
head.
hard substance.
Yeah.
And you also control the gloom water, which is like the liquid. And you need to like manufacture basically these big spherical cores for all the units. And down there, you meet Tomo, who is...
Oh, you get to meet Tomo.
Yeah, you meet Tomo.
Oh, you've been looking for Tomo for the entire time.
So the snake centipede-like robot, Samsk.
Also, weird guy.
Yeah.
Also, really quick, it's pronounced Nacre. It means mother of pearl.
Okay. That makes
interesting.
sense, actually. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what language it is.
I think it's probably English.
Nacre. Yeah.
French.
U.S. pronunciation. Huh. Yeah.
So I feel like it's like a word that I've heard. I just don't really know what it means.
Yes. Nacre.
Or I've seen, I guess. Well, and Samsk is the centipede creepy robot guy that like keeps grabbing you and adding new things to you.
Yeah, and the first time you didn't even ask.
The first time it's like terrifying. He like comes out of this pipe and snatches you and takes you away.
Turns you off like, okay.
Yeah.
All the other future ones, you like walk into the pipe and jump down.
Yeah, but that
or you like
first
sit
one.
there and wait for him to come
Or
get
yeah,
you.
that's what it is. Yeah, you're like waiting. It's so cute.
And so he's the one that gives you powers, but he also is friends with this character named Tomo that you never meet until now. And they have this close relationship, and when everything goes to shit on the ship, it seems like Tomo bailed and was like, Tomo like went to try to solve this on his own or her own. I'm not sure. They're robots, so I guess neither maybe. I don't know. I'm thinking about robot reproduction now. I guess it's just, this happens in the Crucible, I suppose. Anyways, so you go down there, and now Sam's can go down there too, and Tomo and them get back together, and they're reminiscing about old times. It's really nice. They're having some great conversations. But this is where the hardest fucking platforming in the game is, in the Crucible, because basically they're saying they're looking at this big robot that's responsible for creating the pearls. And Tomo is he's like an engineer, and he's trying to figure out why is it rejecting all these pearls. Like we need more data on this. So you have to go through this crazy platforming. On one side, you need to figure out the Nacre situation. The other side, you need to figure out the Gloomwater situation. It's actually so much fun, but honestly, like each side took me like more than an hour to get through.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
These sections on one side, you have to do a bunch of platforming where you're like hitting something to like keep yourself airborne a bunch, and like using the hairpin to like fling yourself around. But there's all these saw blades there, and especially this is so tough too. There's a bunch of sections where you have to like hit something to like keep yourself up. When you hit it rotates a saw blade 90 degrees, and some of them have 2 saw blades, some of them have 3 and different stuff. And so you have to do this crazy stuff where it's like, oh, you need to make sure you hit it twice, so that then this area you can get to. Like if you don't hit it twice, then you're going to hit a saw blade. And so you have to learn these sections and like, okay, jump, hit that, go back to this one, hit that one twice. Now go over there.
That's so cool.
It gets insane, but it is really fun when you finally pull it off. The other side has the Gloomwater, which you can't touch or you'll die, right? And the Gloomwater, there's like a section, a different part of the game that has pumps that can move the Gloomwater up and down. And so this has a section where the Gloomwater goes down and you need to go down with it through this platforming area, and then it's coming back up and you have to escape it. And the timing is very tight. So it's like, while on paper like the platforming is easier than the other section, the timing is really important, that you're going down fast enough and up fast enough. That section I did think was easier in general, but then you bring the data back from each side back to Tomo, And Tomo is like, well, I don't get it. It all looks like it should be normal. What Tomo doesn't know is that they need a human to go inside there too. Anyways, but you get a new ability there. The last ability that's totally optional. It involves the Strider, which I don't know if you got, Shawn. But it basically allows you to use your tendrils like spider legs kind of, and you can like climb through the walls and everything. It's really fun. Yeah. But it now allows you to walk on water with that.
Cool.
Which is really cool. It doesn't allow you to get to too many more places than you could before, but very importantly, allows you to go up waterfalls that are like
I know exactly
sort
what
of
you're
in the
talking
background.
about.
Yeah. So there's this area called the canopy, which is way, way up above the breath. And there's a bunch of gloom waterfalls there. And so what you need to do is, sorry, I'm just checking my notes.
I made it to this area and
Oh,
was
you
like,
did?
I can't go anywhere.
Yeah, it's
because
like
I didn't have the ability. But
Yeah.
I was like, what am I missing? Because I spent the time doing the platforming to get all the way over there. And then I was like, what the hell? I can't get anywhere.
It was really pretty there, if nothing else.
Yeah, it was. Mhm.
And the reason that it was pretty is because the gloom water actually comes from the catalyst. It's leaking from the catalyst, and it's creating all this like life there inside the vessel. So you climb up the waterfalls, and you can actually get to the library now, where all of the knowledge is held. And it's really fun. Like all the banisters are like DNA filigree and stuff, because it's keeping all of the life information there. And so you can go to to the library. You can talk to a couple of the librarians that are like telling you about the library, and they're sad about, how everything's ended up. You can see the huge egg in the background that's cracked open with all the catalysts spilling out of it, all the gloom water spilling out of it. And at the bottom of the library, in a special chamber, you see a traveler. And as you approach, she comes, Shii, the first person you meet that helps you out a lot.
Yeah.
And she is, she's like responsible for maintaining the spine or some crap.
Yeah, she's like one of the main. She's like a what are those save points?
I don't know what
the
they're
guardians. She's
Yeah.
like a little.
Yeah.
She's like a guardian, but she's like more.
Nexum, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. I thought that was what it was called. Or those things were called.
The Nexus.
Yeah.
And this is like a classic case of like the character that like sends you on your journey initially is also your enemy.
Oh no.
Because basically they were doing Nodin's will, trying to get you to collect the voices or something. I don't remember. I don't know. But the coordinates were locked up with that traveler. That's the last traveler. And she was like, you're not going in there and getting those coordinates. Nuh-uh. And so then you have this really epic, like it's considered like true final boss. I don't think it was that great, to be honest. I think the only thing is that she had like way more different moves that they did than other bosses did. So you really had to learn a lot, but I don't think it was that hard. It was fine. And so after you beat you can go into the area where that traveler is to get the coordinates. Well, the heart is failing, and so the ground like rumbles like it does at the very beginning of the game and a couple points throughout. And so you like pass out, and then Adi comes, the purple-haired mirror of you, and collects you and takes you to the heart. And now that you have the coordinates that you've given you have the coordinates, Adi kind of changes her tune and says, we can actually succeed, takes you to the heart, and now you're both placed there with the human. And not just now the heart of the vessel is not just motivated to continue, but actually knows where to go.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
And so you see the vessel take off through space, and so you can actually see the whole vessel for the first time. And it looks like a squid, kind of.
It is. It's so cool.
Interesting.
Or maybe kind of like semen, which is like a little bit metaphorical, maybe. I don't know. It looks more like a squid. I'm just kind of stretching a little bit.
Sure.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like seeding the planet, whatever. And then so you have this really nice epilogue kind of where you're playing as a kid and you're on this like beautiful, like full of life planet, and you're running around and you fall into this like crevice where there's like all this old machinery and stuff, but you're totally safe, and then you end up at this lakeside, and there in the lakeside is this like old spherical like broken down thing, and it's the heart.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be the spine.
No,
I was like, oh no.
And it's the heart, and there's like a tree growing out of it, and it's so totally like ruins and everything. And inside there's also like the ruins of like Audie and Mio laying in there. And so it's really nice. Yeah.
Cool.
But then I wonder, like, what is the good ending? All the robots died and all the humans were already dead. So
I mean, I think the robots were going to die no matter what, though.
I guess so.
Like,
at least
even
they
though-
accomplished their mission.
Yeah, even though the heart was like in that first ending, even though the heart, you know, gets like more like it's
Pumped.
re-inspired,
Yeah.
it still doesn't know where to go.
Yeah.
So it's only a matter of time before. Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, other humans did come to the planet that they.
Well,
I
it was
think-
in the.
life.
I
it
think
was
the
in
catalyst,
catalyst
created humans.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
then the humans wouldn't have existed at that point if they didn't complete their mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all the robots had died to make that happen when the ship crashed. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's a matter of perspective.
Mm.
I liked the ending more a lot. than
Yeah,
the
that
ending,
sounds
the final
really
ending.
cool.
It was really nice too. It was like
Yeah.
kind of beautiful
Yeah.
moment, and it was cool.
Very
So-
cool.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry
Well-
it took so long.
No, that's
No.
okay.
It's 30 hours of talking.
Yeah, we're at the 40-minute mark.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I want to hear about like the bosses you guys did and liked,
Oh,
and like
yeah.
what made an impression.
Yeah, I mean, I have got a list of all the bosses here, and I do. Before we go to the bosses, I just wanted to talk about like the description that you get with the voices, and as you're collecting them, because whoa, my battery's at 3%. Jesus.
Ruh-roh.
It was at 40% when we started this podcast. I just had it open. So you have Liho's voice, a voice that carries the weight of regret. I believe that was it's not the eye. It's
Is that the blood?
the blood. Yes, and it's so interesting when you interact with the blood. This is the first time that you get like this characterization where he's like covering his, I don't know, I think it's a he. They're covering their face with like their hands, and you get this like really crazy personality just with the way that the
The
characterization
voice
is
acting
done.
was so good.
Yes, and so that was the first time that I was like, oh wow, we're getting like a weirdly large amount of emotion from these voices, even though they're technically robots, but they
Yeah.
are AI. And this was before I realized that a human was like fused into it, because I didn't notice that until the very end. But then you also have Halen's voice, a voice that carries the weight of ambition. That's the hand.
Yep, lots of ambition.
Asma's voice, a voice that carries the weight of aging. Asma was the breath
I think Asma was the
or the eye.
eye.
The eye.
Yeah.
And then Nodin's voice, a voice that carries the weight of choice. That's the spine. And then Amethyst, a voice that carries the weight of indifference. That was the breath. Because they were like, yeah, take my voice. I don't give a hoot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that was interesting, and I just wanted to read those off because I just I thought it was cool, and I really liked them. I liked all the pearls. I liked meeting them all. The hand was my favorite though. She had so much personality.
She was the sassiest. I
Yeah,
liked her.
yeah. And it felt like she needed you to prove yourself to her before she trusted you enough to give away her voice, because she was like, I'm going to figure this out. Like, I'm going to fix this. It's going to be fine. All the other voices were kind of just like,
Kind of giving up a little bit.
yeah, she was still trying. She was down there like building things and rummaging around, kidnapping the thing
I was
that
gonna
you,
say,
you
He kidnaps your shopkeeper.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, so you have you meet this shopkeeper, and this is someone who you can buy upgrades from, and they have like 3 little helpers.
Yeah, that you collect.
You have to help.
Where are these helpers
They're
at?
all over the place.
Okay, because I haven't found any yet. And I'm like, gosh, dang, I bought all the upgrades already, so I'm like, I want more.
It took me a while to find. I mean, I found the first one pretty early, but it took me a while before I had to get Strider to basically they're being like pressed up by this air gust and they're stuck on the ceiling. And on the other side of the air gust is a button where you can turn it off, but you can't get through until you have Strider where you can like spider your way through. And so I knew where one was for a while. And again, I didn't get Strider until after I had Glide.
Wow. Yeah.
So, yeah, but I can't remember where the other 2 are. You just stumble upon them.
I think there's one in
There's one in the ice area.
There's one in the like the growth area. It's like kind of to the right.
Yes. Yeah. No. You're right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But
somewhere.
Yeah, you unlock more upgrades for those. But we've kind of talked about some of the abilities. Do we want to go over all of the abilities you end up getting?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because you start with
Hairpin.
Hairpin is the first, and that's kind of where you're like, I always called it like the slingshot, but then that's actually like you kind of get a slingshot ability later, which is it's not really a slingshot, but that's what it's called. Oh, it's when you hit the things that you, so there are like
you
these
can like grapple.
Gems, these gems that you can shoot your hairpin at, and you can use that to like pull yourself through them and go higher. But then later you unlock an ability called the slingshot, where you hit those little gems into these like
doorways that have like
blubbery
barriers?
They're like these like gooey doorways that you can't get through, but when you hit it, like makes them explode.
That was a not very exciting ability to unlock.
No, because there's only like a few doorways that you couldn't get through, maybe like 4 or 5. So yeah, that one was fine. We've talked about Strider, where you can kind of be a spider and
that was the
crawl
best.
around.
That's sweet.
Did you go faster? Like, okay, so if you're just like running around the ground, is that the same speed as using Strider on the ground?
No, I went much faster.
Okay, it felt like it was faster, but I couldn't actually tell.
I felt like you were going faster. Yeah, and then you also have Glide, which you can just kind of float.
That's sweet.
And float in place, which was very handy.
Yeah, you could just stop. Is that it? Other than the bonus one
that just lets Strider walk on water and stuff. I think so.
Oh, and block.
The dodge.
The dodge.
Yeah, and there's also one that you unlock that's just kind of a bonus to hair. Well, not really bonus to hairpin, but it's just like it lets you recover energy by hitting the flowers and stuff.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. That's technically one that you get, but it's kind of like more in the background.
It took me such a long time to realize that hitting those flowers was like, I needed to hit the flowers to get energy back. I got stuck in a spot where I was like, there's no way. Like, there's no way I'm stuck here. And then I realized, I need to. I hadn't unlocked the ability to get your energy back by hitting things, but it was by hitting something, it kept you in the air long enough so you could jump again.
Yeah, which I appreciated in this game that they didn't like make the first unlock the double jump. You know, like I feel like a lot of them do. You usually start with a double jump, and I'm like, yes, this is how it should be.
Which actually, I can't believe I almost forgot to bring this up. At the end of the credits of this game, there's an Easter egg.
Yeah, and
so if you scan the QR code, it will take you to like a Game Boy style version of MIO.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah.
And so you can play that on your phone, and actually the first thing you unlock in that game is the double jump.
Oh, really? I didn't get that far.
Oh, yeah. You unlock the double jump in that game.
That game was so much harder than the regular game.
Yeah, so that's just a little Easter egg for you.
Cool.
Yeah, that's fun. And it's like one of those things where it's like, that somebody on the team was just having such a great time loving MIO. It's really like a passion project, even though I'm sure it involved so many people.
Oh, yeah.
Super well done. Really cohesive.
Yeah. But sorry, let's talk about bosses.
Okay.
Let's talk about bosses before it's too late.
Sure.
I mean, we already talked about my favorite boss, which was the anti-rat weapon.
Yeah, that's funny.
My favorite boss was Saw Long.
Oh, yeah.
Saw Long was near the end, ish.
Yeah.
And it's one of the only bosses that's not actually combat. You are running away. Sawlong has like 3 spiky like barrels that it rolls, and it's chasing you.
Oh.
And so you have to platform through all of this difficult terrain, and I think there's 2 different phases.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can get through the first phase, heal up again, and then go through phase 2. And you basically are leading Sawlong past these bombs. And so Sawlong is losing health as you're escaping them. And it took me like 2 hours to beat that boss.
That's cool, though.
Yeah, that was
fun. But it was so fun. It was so much fun. And it was just like, I love
something different.
Yeah. It was just a little bit different than all the other bosses. And like I said in our previous episode, I much preferred the difficult platforming than I did the difficult bosses. Like, they were fine, but I really enjoyed doing the platform stuff. So
you should really go to the Crucible and do the hard platforming there, because it was really fun.
Yeah.
But God, it was painfully difficult.
When you were talking about it, I was like, ooh, that sounds like such a good time. Yeah. So
yeah, the saw blade part especially was like, this is like impossible. And then you're doing it and you're like, I'm doing it. And you die.
I'm doing it. Yeah. Well, and there was another area. The second you get into any sort of saw blade or like pokey, like that area with all of the spinning saws and whatnot, the platforming is just difficult. Because if you jump just a little bit too high,
you touch it. Yeah.
You touch them, or they're moving up and down and you have to time that right. It's just insane.
Well, it's kind of fun too, because it's like, a lot of the game has like the red like anemone looking stuff in it. Yeah, that's if you touch you die, and that's kind of the same thing as like a saw blade being there that kills you.
Yeah.
But it does give it a whole different like vibe, and I guess they do different things, like have the moving platforms with the saw blades too. So but yeah, it's just fun.
Well, and there were times with those little anemone things where even if you were on safe ground, they would like slowly start moving
creepy
towards you, and
Yeah.
they'd never get to you as long as you were on ground. But there was animation of them like still reaching out and trying to grab onto you.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, I really liked the bosses that were not just like fight this guy, or that had like some interesting aspect to them. Like probably my second favorite boss was Keeper of the Breath. It was Naboo. It was like a deer goat thing.
I didn't like that one. It was so easy.
It was really easy, but I just thought it was neat because it had like the area, the part in the middle where you had to like stay above the ground for a little while, which at that point in the game for me it felt pretty unique.
That's true.
But it was a really easy boss.
I think my problem with that boss, I don't know if I like found a little bit of a glitch with the boss or what, but I don't think I died once.
Oh, really?
Because when Naboo would land, I would just run under her legs. And so no matter if she was kicking or any of her attacks, I was right underneath her and nothing hit me. So I was just like slashing away with no consequences.
Yeah, that's kind of lame.
And so I was like, oh, I feel like this isn't supposed to be like this, but I've somehow glitched into like underneath the boss where I'm just able to attack with no consequences.
Hey, found the loophole.
I think I also just like the design of like a deer-like boss.
It
that
was
very
beautiful.
Different.
She was really pretty.
And with all like the plants everywhere and stuff.
Yeah. There were a couple easy bosses that the Flora, the Sentinel Pearl Trap, was really easy. I don't think I died on that one either. It's kind of like a flower, like plant thing that kind of whips at you, but it's so easy to avoid all the attacks.
I thought because that is one that doesn't actually have like a shortcut to get to it really. You can encounter it really early on in the game too. And at first I was like, oh man, this is like gonna be so hard. I gotta get here every time, but yeah, it wasn't a big deal at all.
I think you just get a key to another area from that spot. So that boss wasn't too bad. Shawn, the first boss, because you said you fought the first boss and then the crow.
Yep. Yeah.
I've
only fought those two.
Yeah, the first boss is not too bad, but if you're watching this on YouTube, we're probably there already, where the end of this YouTube recording is just me dying trying to fight the crow over and over again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the crow was kind of a butt for a little bit.
Yeah, that was just the first boss that I was like, oh, this is like challenging and I'm not ready for this.
That's like the first one I feel like you have to learn like oh, it's up in the top left now. Gotta make sure I jump or whatever.
Yeah. So,
I do want to touch on like 2 other bosses really quick. One is Vlad, the exiled sycophant.
Oh, I don't think that I got to Vlad.
Oh, okay. That was in a totally optional area.
Yeah.
That's where you have to get the 6 security codes, and then you can get in there. But
I had 2 out of 6.
2 out of the codes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I had 5 out of the 6 when I got there, and then I just had to run everywhere to find the last one. But this boss battle, it was like being in like a clothes dryer. In that the battle was like in like a circle, and you'd fight him, and he would do a lot of like floating in the middle stuff, but then he would shoot these projectiles at you that would be like knives that stuck out on the floor wherever they landed.
Oh god.
But then what he would do is he would like rotate the whole map, and he'd do it like really fast. So if you're touching the ground, you like get hit by them, but then they would stop, and then where the knives were in a different spot. Or that he'd rotate it slowly while you're fighting it, so you have to keep like jumping and landing in different spots. That was kind of a fun one. It was just different. And then Sol and Vin were incredibly difficult.
Oh my god, yeah.
A duo of blade-handed like or sword-wielding like robots that you fight, and they like fly around.
Yeah.
They're wicked fast, but the really annoying thing about them is that it doesn't matter how much health you have, they always kill you in 2 hits. The first hit takes away all of your extra health, and the last hit kills you. So, and a lot of times because there's 2 of them and they do like attack together, you'll just die like right away.
One shot, technically.
So the first couple times I fought, I'm like, what is happening exactly? Like, I don't even know.
Yeah,
I'm just dead.
Yeah.
Dang. And that one, I probably spent like 2 hours just going at it and going at it and going at it. One night Emma had some friends over, and they probably thought I was really weird just because like, oh yeah, he's playing games, whatever, like that's normal, but like, oh, he's been on the same part for like the whole time we've been here. So
it was funny because when I was in the area with the hand, because I think I texted you guys and I was like, it was just like a gif of, I can't remember what the gif was, but it was like me when I'm proud of myself for finding the 3rd pearl super easily, but then it's the hand. Because you do find the hand pretty quick, and I'm like, yes, it was so easy to get to this pearl, and then she just like kicks you out. But you had texted back, you were like, oh my gosh, like that area has the best boss, which you were talking about the anti-rat weapon and the hand. But I was at the part where I was fighting Debbie, which is the Dr. Hyland's collector. And I was just like, this does not seem like that
the best
special. I was like, what? And then I got...
Because that's the one that like shoots the water at you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and there's another one down there. I can't remember who it is, but there's 2 bosses in that area. Oh, Solong's in that area.
Yeah.
And so then I thought, I was like, oh, he was definitely talking about Solong. But then I was like, oh no, it really could be anyone. The boss that I hated the most was the Atmos, the weather control unit, the snowman, where he like starts as a snowman.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, you like fall into this pit, and there's just like a snowman sitting there, and I'm immediately like, oh no,
I know.
This
I was
is gonna
like,
be a boss.
oh, no.
Sure enough, he like pops out of the snowman.
And he was one boss that it was kind of inconvenient to get to him. Like, it wasn't a long way, but you had to like ride an elevator, and then you had to like float somewhere, and then you had to drop down.
Yeah. And it just took a while every time.
And you're on ice. So if you're on the ground, you're sliding around. You have very little control over where you're at. And he just moved super quick.
I'm trying to remember. Like, I definitely know the area that you're talking about. I'm trying to remember what he even did.
He would jump into the air and like spin and then like catapult towards you while he was spinning. He was kind of like a wheel. It was hard to explain, but he was kind of all over the place. Yeah. And then he would like crouch down and like shoot straight at you. And that part you could kind of like float behind him and attack. Or he would like take a knife and like swing down. He had a lot of different random shit he would do. You had to just really make sure that you were dodging.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't really remember the fight that well, but I just remember running back to the fight over and over again.
It was so yeah, that was my least favorite boss. I was like, I hate this guy. I hate him so much. But boss wise, those were the ones that I wanted to bring up. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. But I guess one thing I also forgot to mention in our last episode, which I meant to, but the art style for this game was inspired by some European graphic novels.
Oh.
They listed off some authors. I did not look up how to pronounce their names, but Juanjo Guarnido. I'll link in the show notes these people. Catherine Muricet and the last one is Boulay. This was in the Ask Me Anything that I was reading too. So those were just some inspirations for the art style. But this was much more watercolor than any of the works that I saw from those people. So maybe it was like specific graphic novels. But yeah. So I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah,
but
the art was so good.
Yeah, it was.
I loved this game. I loved it so much.
It was a fun one.
Yeah. But anything else, guys?
I don't think so.
That about covers my notes.
Okay.
I mean, do you guys have like a favorite area you went to?
Oh man. Definitely the where not the canopy, how you get to the canopy, that like top right area with all of the like nature where the gloom water is leaking out and stuff like that.
That area was really nice looking. I liked the darker cousin of it, a little bit lower to the right of that, the promenade.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was so creepy there. The like the music was just like it felt like so alien and scary.
Yeah.
I think for me it was because I didn't get super far, but the Haven or the Upper Haven, because I like the color schemes of it. It was like the first like bright space that you got into, so you're like, oh, this is really cool. So I really enjoyed the art style in that.
Yeah, they found good opportunities to like kind of mix it up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
show it off a little bit. So
yeah,
beautiful
for sure. Cool. Well, this concludes the discussion episode for MIO Memories in Orbit. Please join us next week for the rating episode of Slay the Princess, followed by its discussion episode the week after. Please go and give the podcast a follow, rate it, review it, however you want to show us love. You can email us with any comments, questions, or constructive criticism at letmebeyourgg@gmail.com. You can also send us game requests if there's something you'd like us to review, just like Brandon did for Slay the Princess. This is a listener pick. So email us. Also email us if you want to enter to win a copy of MIO Memories in Orbit. You can find us on most socials as Let Me Be Your GG, and we're on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and X. You can find us on TikTok as Let Me Be Your Game Guide. Our Patreon can be found at patreon.com/letmebeyourgg. Thank you so much for listening. We can't wait to see you next week, and thank you so much for letting me be your game guide. GG, y'all.
6-7. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my god.
You still got it, man. Just throwing that out there. Just one thing real quick. 6-7.